what you got going on right now, man?
I'm just here in Montreal for a few weeks, working out, getting ready before the season. It's coming pretty fast in few weeks, so just making sure I'm ready for the season physically, mentally. Um, that's it, basically.
Most definitely. And, obviously being one of the top defenders in the league last year, you had a hell of a season. Like, as I mentioned, 141 tackles, led the league in tackles. And doing that, we're playing for the Berlin Thunder. Now heading into year two, you surprised everyone in terms of at least the people I were talking to, or at least I knew. A lot of people thought that you would head back to Berlin, but instead you signed with the Frankfurt Galaxy, the reigning champions of the league last year. So, what were some of the reasons for either leaving Berlin or, trying to take your talents elsewhere?
First, I want to say thanks to the Berlin Thunder organization because it was, my first step in the league, and they just gave me my shot to be in the league. So first, I really want to thank Berlin Thunder for last year, everything that happened together. Even though the season was tough, it was a tough season. We had to fight till the end, but made great friendship and stuff. So really happy about, being in Berlin in 2020,
Yeah.
2021. But it was surprising for everybody, but, I just kept everything, low-key, didn't talk that much about it. What happened is, like, during the off-season, I had a talk with Bjorn, I had a talk with a few other teams, and after a few weeks of talking, I just realized that Frankfurt Galaxy was the team who gave me the most interest out of every team I did talk with. So, I just felt more comfortable and more welcome to Frankfurt. So that's why I choose to go to Frankfurt.
Yeah, and talk about the rich getting richer, right? You got the defending champs who already had a great defense, and now now they're adding a strong piece like you in terms of like the season you had to their defense this upcoming season. So, great signing on both ends, I think. Now, you mentioned it before in terms of the experience of playing in the ELF, and that experience translated to opportunities. And obviously you had the chance to participate in the international combine. Talk a little bit about that experience in terms of like what it did for you, what you learned from that experience, and how it made you better as a player.
Yeah, definitely it was, probably the best experience that I had in my whole life. Just being, it's a kid's dream, like you always go to the combine in front of scouts and just show what you can do. So definitely it was one of the greatest experience in my life. What I learned is that honestly, like, everything can happen very fast.
Yeah.
You got to stay ready. You just got to keep grinding until, the opportunity comes up. So honestly, it was a great experience. I did learn a lot. I asked myself a lot of questions about, like, are you really ready to go to the next step, to the next level? Physically and stuff. So this was a great experience because I did learn a lot about how I should work, how I can get better, and just because it didn't work out for me last year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still hungry, and I didn't let the dreams go. I'm still thinking about it, but I know what I need to work on. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Most definitely. And from that experience alone, right? Obviously being the select few from the league that had the opportunity to go and perform and show the talent you have in front of NFL scouts and the ultimate dream of playing in the National Football League. How does that change your mindset or your training regimen heading into year two of the European League of Football? Like, do you feel like you're training different, eating different? How's that experience changed, who you are as a player now going forward?
Okay, so definitely the experience of being at the NFL Combine just helped me with everything. Like, I understood that you got to put every chance by your side. So it's either training, nutrition, sleeping, stuff like this, recover. Like, all of this is very important, to get yourself ready, to have the good numbers, put up the good numbers, and just being ready to play. So definitely, like since the combine, it was really focused on what's coming up next. But I just made sure that I'm, staying ready
Yeah.
in case
And
an opportunity up or for the season. Like I really want to come in the best shape so I can just play my top football level.
most definitely. And I think, being able to, I'm not going to say replicate just because, different scheme, different season, maybe, you'll have 150 tackles, who knows? But you're going to be in a different situation with Frankfurt than you are with Berlin. And that brings me to kind of like some of the trends I've been seeing with the off season in the European League of Football for this upcoming season. And one of the things, and I even wrote about it, is that a lot of teams are valuing that linebacker position. You got teams like Leipzig, signing AJ, bringing in Mike Tavares from Barcelona and JP Bomback from Hamburg, or teams like Cologne who are beefing up in the middle of their defense. You joining Silva Gomez and Sebastian Gautier. Like it seems like the linebacker position is a high priority for a lot of teams this year. What are your thoughts on some of those trends that you have been seeing, or maybe what even caused those trends to happen heading into this off season?
Yeah, definitely. This year it was, big year, big off season for signing linebackers all around in every team. So I think the linebacker level is gonna increase next year. So honestly, I'm really excited about it. It's a challenge, like who's the best at this position, and there is a lot of competition. Either in my own team with Sebastian and Gauthier, and even against the other teams have good linebacker corps. So I'm really excited to just show that we are still the best no matter what, even though there is some great guys playing around.
Yeah, and I think, as we're on the topic, we're talking about Frankfurt. I think, the combination of, you three guys, you got a little bit of everything. Obviously, you got the speed and the versatility with Sebastian, who could play that nickel or go to DB if he had to, or even stay in the box. And then you got you and Silva in the middle, but guys who could also come off the edge. So it's gonna be interesting to see, especially week one against the Fire. I believe so. Yeah, against the Fire. How the gel and how the chemistry has come together and everything. So we'll see what happens. 1 second. So Wael, looks like you're about to have a new teammate. So reported by Tim. Tim, I love you, and if you're watching this, I don't even want to botch your last name. So reported by Tim from the European League of Football, Italian defensive back Fabrizio Umentelli signs with Frankfurt Galaxy. So it looks like you're getting a new guy on the back end. You can check that out via Tim's Instagram on the European League of Football website. But looks like, you guys are beefing up your secondary. Someone to go with Joshua Poznowski. So it's going to be interesting that you see how your team, how the defense forms out heading into camp. I'm not sure if you know about Fabrizio, but I'm sure you'll read up on him later. But, what's the mindset in terms of the potential this Frankfurt defense could be this year?
Yeah, definitely, we do have a lot of potential, and I'm pretty sure Coach Kosling still have some stuff in his pocket. Like he still have some, he still does have some cards. So I'm really looking forward to, they already had like a good defense, a good group, and he's just adding a few pieces here and there just to get the defense even better. But at the end of the day, I do think that it's all about chemistry. Just need to be tight and work as a team, as a defense, as a whole unit. So we still have a few weeks to get this done with the European and the German guys. So I'm really looking forward about it.
So now let's take a look at your conference, right? So the league added 4 more teams, and now instead of 2, there's 4 conferences now. No disrespect to any of the conferences, but on paper, at least preseason, looking ahead of time, the Central Conference is probably, again, on paper, probably the toughest conference to be in, right? You have the defending champion Galaxy. You're bringing in 2 dominant European teams from the Austrian division, and the Swarker Raiders and the Vienna Vikings, and then you have the Stuttgart Surge as well. And then looking at the first quarter of your season, at least your first 5 games, you have the newly formed Rhine Fire. We don't know what they'll be like, but we'll see week 1 on June 6th or June 5th, I'm sorry. Then you have the Vikings, again, dominant team in Austria. You have the Wrocław Panthers in Poland playoff team. You have the Cologne Centurions playoff team. And then you have the Raiders in your first 5 weeks. So you guys are going to be battle tested early. What are you looking forward to within those 5 weeks? Or, you know, what could we expect that the defending champion Frankfurt Galaxy will be like within those first 5 weeks and see how you guys are going to end up throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, so definitely we are playing against big teams. And when I saw the news about the Central Conference, because I was still a free agent, and I saw the 2 Austrian team, and I was like, hey, you know what? I've been growing up in Europe and watching the Austrian final and stuff. So everybody knows that Swarco and Vienna are a good team since a long year and stuff. Great organization. So I was really fired up with the challenge to just play against the best. Even Wrocław, Cologne, great teams, great players, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I think like Frankfurt, what we're gonna do is just play our top football level.
Yeah,
we just
think
best and compete every single web, every single game, just get better and build up for the season.
Yeah, and you know, let it be known, you guys are, you know, the champions of the first season, the defending champs, the reigning champs. You know, no one's taking that title away from you guys, and you guys will defend it until it's no longer yours, essentially, so to say. Looking at those first 5 games, they're all interesting. They're all going to be tough games, and I think the one game that is going to be fun to watch is Frankfurt versus Cologne. You're going up against, obviously, we all know who Madre London is. We all know the type of offense they have. But, you know, how does Cologne bounce back with, you know, losing some guys to, you know, the new team, the Rhine Fire? You know, obviously, you know, with you guys now, Silva Gomez, Sebastian, and you in the middle for the linebackers, like, I think that is an ultimate test in terms of going up against the league MVP last year. And against that offensive line, who was the number 1 offense in the league last year. How do they bounce back, and how does the new chemistry of you guys go against that team? So I think that's one game that I'm looking forward to. I think that's the week 4. So one game for the fans to keep an eye on or circle during the calendar. So, well, I mean, we're heading to year 2. Season's around the corner. Camp's around the corner. Actually, let me ask you, do you have an idea when you have to report to Frankfurt?
I think I will go to Frankfurt mid-April.
Mid-April, okay.
April.
Heading into year 2, man, like, you know, what's your mindset? I mean, obviously, you know, we want to have a better season than we did last year in Berlin, and you're on, you know, the Frankfurt team. Berlin's also going to be a different team this year, no doubt about it. But obviously, you know, you're with a new organization now. Heading into this season, what's your mindset? What are your goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish heading into year 2 of the European League of Football?
So yeah, year 2 is going to be a, you know, huge challenge for my first year. You know, made all those tackles and stuff. So, you know, this does make a lot of noise, but at the end of the day, I know I still have to improve on a lot of aspects of my game. So for me, I don't take anything for granted. Season 2 is just like a confirmation of what I did last year. Just trying to build up from what I did last year and being even better, make more plays, force turnovers and stuff like this. So for me, just like a mindset of like wherever I am, I just want to get better and just prove that I'm the best at my position.
Hey, I hear that, man. And listen, I look at you play. You're a 3-down linebacker. You can run sideline to sideline. Obviously, you're a tackling machine. You know, I'm excited to watch, you know, not only you play, but see how you and the Frankfurt defense come together and play, especially this season as you guys defend your title. Hey, I appreciate you coming on today. Again, you guys heard it first. Year 2 will be a confirmation of year 1 for our guy, Wael. And, you know, obviously we're all excited and we're looking forward to that first game, June 5th versus the Rhine Fire, my man.
Yeah, me too. Really excited about season 2. Thank you for having me here today.
Most definitely. Appreciate it. And take care, brother.
Yeah.